So today we're going to make some homemade wine, actually strawberry wine, using some fruit. Now I picked up this bucket at Vin Bon. It is at Mohawk and Upper James in Hamilton. And yeah, they actually were nice enough to give me this bucket with a lid. So I have cleaned it using my sterilizing solution. You want to make sure you've sterilized your bucket good. Even just if you have to, just boiling, like, you know, not boiling, but just really hot water, give it a good rinse, because you don't want any bacteria that you don't want in there to be in there. So right now I picked these up at Costco for next to nothing. They're really cheap right now. It says 2 pounds, but we're gonna weigh it just in case. And look at, you got 2.4 pounds. Basically 2.5 pounds of strawberries here. So we're gonna actually use all of them in this. You know, you really only need about 3 pounds, 3.5 pounds of fruit. But you know what, if you want to throw a bit more in there, just that much more flavorful. So let's we'll give these a good rinse and on to the next step. So I've cut all the tops off them and I've rinsed them. So now we're gonna dump these into our bucket. Okay, now we add sugar. Okay, now you want to add about 3 pounds of sugar. So. Whoa. Okay, well, here, I'm going to pour this out because it's not a good idea to do it one-handed. So we went over just by a bit, but that's fine. So now you're going to turn around and you're going to dump your sugar into your bucket. Try to coat everything nicely. There you go, which isn't too hard to do when you got that much sugar in there. Seems like a lot of sugar, I know, but this is what's going to help make your alcohol. So now you've done that, you're going to mix this together with a sterilized spoon. And once you're done mixing it, we'll put the lid on it, and you're going to let this sit aside for 3 days in your home somewhere. Try not to keep, like, don't put it where there's going to be sunlight or anything like that. Try to keep it in a cooler area. So there you go. Now we set this aside for 3 days. So after 3 days, it looks something like this. Now you're going to take your potato masher or a sterilized wine bottle you can use too, and you're going to squish down all your fruit and get all the juice out of them, all the flavor. Then you're going to strain all the berries out of there, so you're left with just the juice. Then add about 8 ounces of Welch's 100% grape juice. You can use any type of grape juice you want, really, just as long as it's 100% grape. You're going to boil 3 liters of water and let it cool completely before adding it to the juice. Once it's cooled completely, you can add it to the juice and give it a stir.
2 years ago, they did a
Not bad. So right now it's actually just above dessert wine and just at the bottom of table wine. So it's actually not a bad spot. And you're looking at potential alcohol of, looks to be, so I'd say what, 13%? There's 15, there's 10. Yeah, 10, 11, 12, 12 and a half, I'd say. Potential. Which, you know what? That's perfect for this. So it's good to go. Let's add the yeast. So now we're going to add a package of yeast. You pick up your wine yeast. We'll open this up, dump this in, and then we're going to put the lid back on. And now some people won't agree with this, but I put the lid back on and leave it for a week with the lid sealed. It will bulge, but it won't explode over a week. After a week, we're going to transfer this, and then you'll put your airlock on it and whatnot.
I think we're gonna watch a movie because.
So after adding the yeast to this, we're going to put the lid back on. And like I said, we're going to put this lid on tight, and we're going to set it aside for about a week. Now again, when I first heard that too, I was like skeptical about putting a lid on this thing and leaving it for a week, but you know what, it works fine. And then after that, we will transfer it to our, it usually makes a gallon and a bit when you do it this way. So we'll transfer it to our jugs and put the airlocks on, and yeah. So it's been a week. Well, it's been 5 days since we've closed this up after putting the yeast in and stuff. Now we're going to transfer this to our 1 gallon jug here, because this only usually makes about a gallon, maybe a bit more. I did add a bit more liquid this time, so give or take, we'll see. If we have to get another one, we will. I opened it up, it's bubbly. So like I said, let's pour it in here, get your funnel, make sure everything's sterilized, and let's do this. There you go. Then you put your bung in there and your airlock, some water in, and it will start to bubble. And we're gonna leave this for about a month. Yeah, so after a month, you may want to like re-rack it again, and just basically siphon into another sterile demijohn, 1 gallon container, and redo it again. And that's it, depending on the clarity of this you want. It's totally up to you. Sometimes to me it's fine right afterwards. You can put it into the second jug and it's fine to go, depending on, again, whether the bubbles have stopped. Because if it's still bubbling, it's still fermenting. Therefore, you do not want to seal your jar, or you will cause an explosion in your home.